I'm Bryan Ashley, and I preside over the ninth largest organ in the world. It's got 13,384 pipes, playable from a 4-manual console with about 200 stop knobs and a lot of other gizmos. And the organ's on. And so each one of these keyboards controls one or more divisions of the organ, and they each have a specific assignation to their division. So this keyboard is called the choir, and it corresponds to these stops here, which are the choir stops. So and so on. So each one has their bells. Okay, those aren't mine. Each one has its own particular color and function. And this keyboard also controls what is an early music division called the positif. And that is that section right there. And the pipes, the silver pipes you see right in front, are these actual pipes. I'm playing this. It's called a viola da gamba. It doesn't really sound like a viola da gamba. So that silver pipe right smack in the middle is this. I'm playing it right now. Another big wall. So this is the positif. And then this keyboard is called the great, and it corresponds to the stops on the great, and they're pretty great. They're big, they're more powerful. Where some of the power of the organ comes from. And then its German counterpart is called Hauptwerk, also playable from the same manual. It's not quite as robust. And now you can play them together. There's some serious sound. This keyboard is called the swell, and all the stops for the swell are here. And it gets its name from the fact that you can actually control the volume, the dynamics, by using a device called a swell pedal, which is where my right foot here, I can open and close this. And the pipes are contained in a room that has Venetian blinds that I can open and close, so you can hear the gradation in volume, basically. You can't change the volume of the pipes. They're set. The organ builder has determined that. And so we can make it sound like it's getting louder and softer. And this is the biggest division of the organ. It has, I think, about 2,500 pipes associated with it. And it has everything from reed choruses to very lush and quiet string sounds. And it has a great dynamic range. I can make it get very quiet. And then the fourth keyboard here is called the bombard, which is named after a Celtic kind of reed. It's kind of like a very loud oboe. And it's sort of the quintessential French romantic sound. And it's very reedy and powerful. And it really cuts through when you add this baby on. And then there's the division called the solo, and it's not assigned to any specific keyboard. It's called a floating division. And the solo lives up separate from the organ in a separate chamber. And it has, I can play it on any manual by just calling a solo knob. So I'll play it on the bombard on the 4th manual. And you got a nice loud one. It's got chimes. That sounds so good. And then last but not least, we have the pedal keyboard. It is actually a keyboard. It's got 2.5 octaves, and it's playable with feet. And it has everything from low, deep bass notes to some really scary stuff. The ground shakers. It has very cute, dainty stuff. higher than that. And the pedal line is usually a single voice, so people are, when they come from the piano to the organ, they're always like mystified by the pedals, and basically your feet serve as like one hand. So I can play pieces, Bach wrote some pieces called trios, and they're basically for 3 hands. So each of these, they're called stops. In other languages, they're called registers. They're called stops because in the old days, the early organs, the default was everything was on, and you had to turn things off. You had to stop things. So it's an old English term. They're registers. Anyway, each one has its own set of pipes. For example, when I pull this one stop principle, it activates 61 pipes from here to here. You just heard, well, get them all in there. So I just played 61 pipes in one fell swoop. And so I can play this simultaneously. I can play another row of pipes. So now you're hearing a trumpet and a principal. Right now with one finger I'm playing 2 pipes at once. And I'm playing 3 pipes at once. And so on and so forth. So you can play as many stops as you want. And it's a matter of the combinations that you want to make different colors. And so I can change things. Just the trumpet by itself. So it's up to you, to the organist, to determine what's the appropriate sound, the orchestration, so to speak, of a particular piece. And so to assist in using all this stuff, we have all these buttons here. These are programmable combination pistons, they're called. And they're very precise. You can program these any way you want. So you set up your sound and whatever you like, then you capture it. And then during the performance, you can play it whenever you want. You can push it whenever you want. This is the beginning of this. It's one of my favorite pieces.